Hey everyone, today I'll be watching Attack on Titan Season 2, Episode 2. So at this point, I still haven't uploaded my reaction to Episode 1, which means that there was no possibility for you to give me feedback regarding the opening, so that means that for this episode, I'll definitely still skip the opening, just in case. Episode 2. Before I dive right into it, there's something I noticed while I was editing my reaction to Episode 1. Which was that this Bigfoot Titan, when he noticed Mika's swords, he said, "Oh, you clearly have figured out that we reside in the nape." And while I was watching like this initially, when I watched it, I did notice that, but I didn't quite understand what he meant. I just understood it in a way that he said something about that the humans have discovered their weakness. But now after editing and rewatching it, I basically realized what he really meant. He's hinting that he's a human, in fact. Or maybe another creature, maybe not specifically a human, maybe a different version of a human. But he clearly meant to say that his true himself is inside the neck. So this monkey titan form is basically the same thing just as Aaron's titan form. It's just his armor in a way, which really confuses me a bit, because I was pretty sure that he was not a human titan user, but after seeing this, he has to be something else. He has to be some sort of a creature, most possibly a human, who is controlling this gigantic titan form. And it definitely pains me, because I spent a large chunk of my discussion talking about my theory about this titan. And this is definitely a crucial detail, but I think it doesn't really destroy any of my theories, this new information. I just think it opens up more possibilities, more new theories. I was pretty sure that at least in some degree, my theories which I made in my previous discussion were true. Like, for example, in my previous discussion, I said that there could be over the sea a Titan island, Titan land, where only Titans live, have their own society, and this guy, this Bigfoot Titan, came from that place. And I still think that this could be true. Him being a human doesn't really change my way of thinking that much. As I said, it just opens up a new possibilities. If he is a human, that could mean that on that Titan island, Titan land, maybe there is a Titan society, but not in a way that I was thinking about. Maybe that society is not made of Titans, but maybe it's made of Titan shifters. Maybe one new possibility that this could mean, if he in fact is a human, is that maybe he is cooperating with the Colossal Titan and Armored Titan. But just the thing that he wasn't aware of what Mika's equipment was. He wasn't aware of what the name of that thing was, of their maneuvering gear. I don't know, I still believe that he is a new, I would say, that he belongs to a new army, just as I said. I think he's not cooperating with the Colossal Titan, nor with the humanity. I think he's just his own fraction. He represents the Titans, basically. As I said in my previous discussion, I believe that they're humans, then the Colossal Armored and Female Titan, Classic Titans, and that their leader is this guy, this Bigfoot Titan. That's how I feel that it is. I still think it is. That's how I felt, and that's how I still feel about this. I still think that's the case. But definitely seeing this detail opens multiple new possibilities. I'm definitely not so confident about my theories anymore. But as I said, I don't think that this new detail changes my way of looking at him that much. So now I can focus on this episode 2. So we finished off with Mika's death, which was tragic. And now... and also something that I noticed while editing. When the messenger came to inform Erwin, during the transition from that scene to the scene where we have seen the location of Rainer, Conny, and Sasha. During the transition from Erwin to them, there was like a sort of like a flashback scene which went really fast, and I looked at it and it showed Mike before he fought. It showed Sasha shooting with a bow, and that did not happen. So that's interesting. So I definitely believe that this will happen at some point during this season. I don't know what this could mean. And then we also have seen Conny's face being really shocked, and he was multiple times shocked already in the first episode, but I think this face, which was shown in that sort of flashback, indicated that he'll probably see his village be destroyed. As I said in my previous discussion, I believe that his village is destroyed and that he will go there and see the ruins of his village. Maybe I'm wrong, but that image in that flashback scene definitely indicated that. I don't know what exactly is going to happen here. There are multiple things, multiple storylines which we could follow. I think it will definitely now mostly resolve around this new Monkey Titan, because the Wall Titan now being covered, I don't think he will awake, so I think they won't explore that storyline for now. I think they will focus more on this new Bigfoot Titan. But anyways, that's just my feeling. Let's get started. I'm home. Oh, this could indicate Conny's village, right? Oh, Hannes. Huh. Oh, so maybe... Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She was exploring this crystal, I think. And they have the priest with them. That's something that I also thought about. Oh, will he tell about more? Oh, This probably happened after Ymir fell. Yeah.
世界に生かしてもらっとるからな。群れで生きる動物なんじゃ。違う生き方をしている人間で限られた環境の中じゃ同じ群れに入って人と関わっていかんけりゃ
そのに受けた女がないよ。
一生この森の中で自分や同族のみの価値観で生きていくんだ。けどなあサシャ、それと心中する覚悟はあるんか。義務を果たさんものがその恩恵を受けることができんのは当然や。サシャ、お前には少し臆病なところがあるな。この森を出て他人と向き合うことはお前にとってそんなに難しいことなんか。
Ah, shit. Oh, that's a Titan. What? Yeah, but... Wait. This was... It's really small. Oh. That's horrible. What the hell was that?
ダメ、切り取らないと立ちどころに塞がる。
What? What the hell is with this guy? Oh, the sound of him eating, that's so disturbing. Ugh. Ah.
待て、当ててやろう。お前、故郷の言葉が恥ずかしいんだろう。図星か？意外と気にするんだな、お前。バカのくせに。もう片親にでも。ちょっとユミル、いいサシャ。お前はずっと人の目を気にして作った自分で生きてくつもりかよ。そんなのくだらないね。いいじゃねえか。お前はお前で、お前の言葉で話せよ。
What was her name?
やめなよ。人に言われて話し方変える必要ないよ。物は言いようだな。まあ、今さら口を変えられたところで鬱陶しいことには変わらないか。あのね、誰しもがユミルみたいに無神経。
Her name is Ymir. Maybe... I don't know. I'm so sorry I wasn't focused on that scene so much. But it really got me. Like, no, no.
動きが呪い。
Nice.
したら私とあの子が。
Oh. great. Interesting.
Sasha! あの子のために巨人と戦っとったんだな。サシャ、立派になったな。
お父さん。ただいま。ここに巨人がいるかわからんぞ。一旦下がれコニー。
Oh yeah.
父ちゃん、母ちゃん、ソニー、マーティン、頼む、みんな。
Yeah, that's from the floor. Oh, is that his house? Oh, God.
コニー、お前ら下がってろ。
What the hell is this?
動けないのか。
あの手足では。
じゃあこいつどうやってここまで来たんだ。
So it's been a couple of days since I watched episode 2, and in the meantime I read your comments, replied to them, so now I'm aware of some of the things which you pointed out, like me being wrong with the timeline in the previous episode, and also a lot of you pointed out the name of this new Titan, so my friend decided that he'll just tell me, so now I know that the new Titan's name is actually the Beast Titan. And also what I did during these days is that I edited the reaction, my reaction to episode 2, and I also rewatched episode 2 because I mean I just had to. I completely missed that scene, the interaction between Christa, Sasha and Ymir, because Christa mentioned Ymir's name, which really like completely, I don't know if it even shocked me. It was at a level where I was like in disbelief, like I just couldn't process the whole thing. And speaking of this, I also went back to watch that scene in Ilse's notebook when the Titan appears and talks with Ilse, because I really wanted to make sure that I understood this correctly, and I think I did, which means that the word which the Titan in Ilse's notebook was using is the same as the name of Christa's friend, which is Ymir. And this, of course, is, for me personally, the biggest takeaway of this episode, of episode 2 of season 2. And as I said, I was completely shocked when I heard Christa saying Ymir's name, because I didn't see it coming, in no way, because that scene felt lighthearted. It was a beautiful scene, an interaction between the three of them, and I never expected for them to give us such a big reveal in that scene, although it maybe isn't actually a reveal, because I'm pretty sure that they did mention her name in one of the episodes in the first season. And what is ironic here is that she is probably the only character of which I haven't, that has some level of importance, and that I haven't remembered her name, not even her first name. Like, of all of these recruits who are in the same class as Eren, I know every name and last name. Heck, I even know the last and first name of Thomas Wagner, for example. And he died already in the 5th episode. You know, like, I can't believe, like, she is the only character of which I haven't remembered the name. And it ends up being probably the most important name, at least from a plot point perspective. I would say her name probably has a meaning. That's something that I want to say. And I haven't remembered her name when they first revealed it. And I'm pretty sure they did somewhere around season 1. But I just haven't remembered it. So with that being said, I'll start talking about, well, what could her name possibly mean? So what meaning could this actually have for her to be named Ymir? Well, the first option is, of course, that it means nothing, that it's just a mere coincidence that her name is Ymir, that her parents were not aware of what this word means, that they thought that they made up this word, or maybe somewhere they have just heard it. So that could be true, and that's one possibility. Because in a way, it just feels, I don't know, not exactly too simple, I wouldn't say too simple, but if her name really has such an important meaning and plays such a big role in this story, then she's probably aware of it. So, then she's probably aware of her own importance. So why would she tell her name around? Wouldn't she possibly change her name? I don't know. So it could be a trap. It could be that she has this name just by coincidence and that it doesn't mean anything significant. But on the other hand, I do have a strong feeling that it actually means something. It has to. In a way, it has to. And also something that I noticed while watching that scene in Ilse's notebook again. Ilse has some similarities, visual similarities with Ymir. They do have similar hair color and similar hairstyles. I mean, their body structure and faces are not similar, but their style and color do in fact look the same. And they both are women, so I don't know, is this really just a coincidence? I think it has a meaning. What could that meaning be? I'm not entirely sure. I have some ideas, but I'm not entirely sure. So before I explain those ideas, I'll have to first go back to Ilse's notebook. So I paid attention again to what was the Titan saying, and he said, Ymir's people. So he didn't say Ymir people as I initially thought he did. He said Ymir's people, which could refer to some people who belong to Ymir, or people who follow Ymir, or as I was talking in my discussion for Ilse's notebook, this could be a word which is used by Titans for describing humans. And then the other line which that Titan said is Ymir-sama. And I don't think I talked about this in my discussion for Ilse's notebook, like I completely missed this line. And I was aware that that probably is a Japanese word, sama, because while watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I learned about these words like san and kun. So I was pretty sure that this is the same thing. But I still asked my friend to clarify if I'm allowed to research what sama means, and he did allow me to. So I did check, and in that explanation which I found said that sama is used as a more polite version of son, so for a mister, or if you're referring to a noble person, as a lord, for example. His other line meant something in the lines like Mrs. Ymir or Lady Ymir, and that refers to one person, right? So, and here's the thing, here's where my confusion comes from. What did the Titan actually mean? That Titan who talked with Ilse. When he first has seen Ilse, he said Ymir's people. So he referred to her as a person who belongs to a group of people, right? To a specific group of people. But then his other line, Ymir-sama, was referring to as if Ilse's name was Ymir, as if she is Ymir. Not that she belongs to the group of people who are called Ymir, but that her name is Ymir. There's a difference saying that I am a European, so I belong to those people who live in Europe, or saying that my name, that literally my first name is European. So that my name is not Vikky, but European. There's a difference. You're referring to someone who belongs to a group of people, or referring to that person's name specifically. And that's what I don't understand. I don't understand what he really meant. And that's important because, for example, if he thought that Ilse is a part of a group of people who are called Ymir, which then means that somewhere there's a society where there's a group of people, maybe a class of people, which are referred to as being Ymir. And that could then potentially mean that our Ymir, this Christa's friend, is also a part of that group of people. And maybe the women in that Ymir society, for example, have same hairstyles, and Ilse happened to have such a hairstyle. That's why that Titan thought that Ilse is a part of that society or group of people or whatever he was referring to. But on the other hand, if he meant specifically that Ilse's name is Ymir, that she is Ymir, that could potentially mean that he thought that he has seen this Ymir, Christa's friend. So that would mean that he has seen her before. And whatever Ymir actually is, if Ymir is a group of people or if Ymir is a specific person, people are not aware of it. People don't know what Ymir means. Like when Hanji was reading that notebook, she didn't know what this could mean. If she did, it would be shown. So that could mean that if my theory about there exists a land or continent or island where only Titans live, that means that maybe whatever Ymir is, if it's a group of people or just that person, it originated from that Titan land. So if it's a group of people, then those people live on that land. Or if it's just one person whose name is Ymir, then that person lived on that land. And that person could be this Ymir. So, and there's a huge difference between these two, so I don't know what that Titan was referring to. What could he mean? But definitely, the creepier thing would be if he actually thought that he has seen Ymir, Christa's friend. If he thought that he has seen her, that would mean that, like, what is she? How old is she in reality? Is she even a human? She could possibly be a Titan shifter. There's so many possibilities. So I don't specifically know what her name could mean. Those are my ideas. It definitely did reshape my theory about the whole Titan's existence a bit, and I'll talk about this in a few moments. So I just wanted also to say that I'll now quickly explain my, I would say, revisited theory about the Titan's existence, because I thought about it a lot. Ymir's name is another big information which gave me more ideas, and the fact that in reality probably the Beast Titan is a human. And I know that I said in this introduction that it doesn't really change my theories that much, but more that I think about it, I think it does in some ways. So I'll not talk about this. Of course, if you're more interested into me talking about specifically this episode, then you can just freely skip to the episode breakdown, where I'll fully focus on what happened in this episode. But just to quickly talk about this theory. So as I said in my previous discussion for episode 1, I believe that there's a Titan land, maybe Titan continent, and there's an ocean between the human known world and the Titan occupied world, like America and Europe, for example. There's a great distance between them, divided by the ocean. And on that Titan land, I think at first lived only humans. I thought about this a lot, and I think that all of the Titans, and I'm pretty sure that all of the Titans were at some point humans. I did think that already, at some point in season 1. But then after seeing Ilse's notebook and the first episode of season 2, I somewhat started to think that maybe the Titans' existence is not connected to the humanities. Maybe they're their own creatures. Maybe they existed before humans. But I don't think so. I don't think so because their whole purpose is not just to kill humans or slaughter them. It feels like they want to also make each death as worse as possible. They want to torture humans in a way. That's their purpose. Even if they want to kill humans, they could stomp humans, they could just kick them, quickly kill them. No, they're eating them. And that is probably the worst death, because it's the slowest one, the most painful one. You fall into the stomach. We have seen when Eren was inside the stomach, how many people were basically dying alive inside there. It was horrible. And what reminded me on this is what happened in this episode, actually episode 2, when Sasha attacked that Titan, which was eating the girl's mom. When he was slowly eating her, which is maybe because he's so small, that's why he wasn't faster, but still he was really slow, taking his time. And not only that, that girl mentioned that her mother's legs were bad, and he was eating her legs. It's like he knew that this is her, how I would say, weakest spot. That's the spot where she feels most pain. I don't know. You just get a sense that they are angry on humanity, that they just want revenge, like that they don't even want to, like they want nothing but just death. It's so bizarre in a way, you know. They're not fighting for politics just for the sake that people die. And then the fact that, as I said, the Beast Titan does seem as if he is an Asian type of a human, like he wasn't aware of what Mickey's equipment is. As I said, he was ordering and the Titans were obeying him, so if there is a Titan land, I'm pretty sure he came from that place. So, and if he's a human, and also each Titan has a weakness in their neck, and that's the part where Titan users are usually in, and as I said, the fact that their existence is to basically torture humans, I think it's safe to assume that they were created after humans. There's no way that they would exist before humanity if their only purpose is to kill humanity. Like, it doesn't make sense, if you know what I mean. So I do believe that on that Titan land, Titan continent, there were people. I don't know why. Maybe they were exiled or anything like that. I don't know what specifically could have happened to them, but they were there, and they discovered this serum. I don't know if with science or magic, but they did. They probably discovered how to transform into Titans. Now, of course, Eren's father did have that serum and injected it into Eren, so there's a high possibility that they did the same, right? Even if it is a serum, that still doesn't prove that the Titans were made scientifically. It's still a possibility that they were created with, I don't know, magic. Like, especially after seeing this ending again, there's a picture in the ending. I think it's a woman, and there's like a big creature which looks like a demon. You know, some things still indicate into the paranormal aspect of Titans. You know, there's a possibility that there were some demons who granted these Titan shifting powers to humans. But in any cases, those people acquired these powers, and then what I think happened, some people had, I don't know, a better version of a serum or something, and were able to maintain their ability. By that I mean, for example, that just like Eren is doing, he can be a human and also shift into a Titan, and come out with ease. I think some people were able to do that, and then some people were then stuck in some Titan's body. I don't know why, but some people, was it a lesser version of a serum, or was this maybe like a payoff for the demons? Like maybe the demons made a curse that some will be trapped in a Titan's body forever. And with one way or another, that's how we came to the existence of these, I guess, classic Titans, normal-looking Titans, or I don't know, standard Titans. And on the other hand, they had some Titan shifters. And then what happened, I think, through years, they developed this, society. Maybe they had their own social classes, and you had the lesser class, which were these standard Titans, and then you had the upper class, which were Titan shifters. And maybe that upper class could be those people which that Titan was referring as Ymir. Because he did bow to Ilse when he said those words. This is an indicator for me that there's a higher class of Titans, and it could be the Titan shifters. It could be that the Beast Titan is a part of this class, because, the Titans were obeying him. When he said, I thought that this is maybe his power, when he said to the Titans that they can now kill Mika in the previous episode. But I think they were, but now I don't think he was controlling them. I think they were just obeying him. Especially because one Titan didn't stop initially. He had to grab him and squeeze his eye. I remember that, so maybe he's just obeying them and they're following orders. And so that could potentially mean that Ymir, the girl Ymir, Christa's friend, is also a part of this society, and that she also belongs in the same group as the Beast Titan does. Or, what could be even potentially worse in a way, is that maybe she is this, supreme leader of that class, sort of like a queen. Because the Titan said Ymir's people, so maybe she's the queen on that land and everyone else is like her people, When he said Ymir's people, he was referring to the fact that maybe she's their leader, So these are two possibilities that I see here. Of course, I don't know why these humans wanted to gain these Titan powers, or why these humans, probably they probably hated some other humans. Maybe they were exiled to that continent and they just wanted revenge. They gained these powers and then returned, crossed the sea and started to just slaughter, I guess. I think that's the case. Those are my feelings of what happened. And also what I want to say is, I remember that someone pointed out that there was a subtitle mistake in one episode. In the episode when Aaron's father injected into Aaron, Aaron's father said something in the lines of, "Your memories will help you control these powers," something like this. And someone pointed out in the comment section, and I remember this because it felt important to me, that in fact Aaron's father said their memories will help you control these powers, something like this. This also proves that there is a place where some Titan shifters live and the humanity is not aware of it, and that could possibly be it. That Titan land, which I'm constantly talking about. If this my whole big theory is true, it would explain why the Beast Titan is a human, but also why he's not aware of the invention of the human society, the inventions, because he actually comes from another continent, another society. And this also would explain why other Titans are obeying him. It would explain why that Titan in Ilse's notebook bowed to Ilse. because he thought that Ilse is in a superior class than him. I mean, he even then put her in a tree, which could be like a burial, or could be like that he's worshipping her. I think it's safe to assume that there is a society somewhere where you have these standard titans and some titan shifters, and the titan shifters are the superior ones, you know. I think that's safe to assume. The only thing that I'm not so sure about is Ymir's actual involvement in this. I really don't know. As I said, I don't know what that titan who was talking to Ilse specifically meant. But as I said, she could be a titan shifter, and that she comes from that society, titan society. Or she could maybe be their supreme leader. And in any cases, I don't really know what to make of it, because, as I said, she was featured so little that if there's one character where I would see maybe this coming, maybe Berthold, you know, because as I said in the previous episode, he looked suspicious, and the fact that his backstory is really interesting, and you know, and maybe that's how he escaped from his house when the Titan opened his window, if he in fact had some Titan shifting powers. But I still would be shocked as hell if that would happen. But here with Ymir, I wasn't even able to process it, because I mean, she probably has to be a Titan shifter, if my theory is true. That's what I'm trying to say. And I just, in no way, I haven't seen that coming. In no way. That's why I wasn't even processing the whole thing while watching, because sometimes if they reveal something big, your focus becomes even bigger. My thought process was just, are you sure what you just heard? That's why I had to rewatch it. That's why I had to go back to Elsa's notebook, because I just was in denial that this just happened. So because I don't specifically know what really her name being Ymir means, I don't also specifically can tell what her role in the storyline is. There's a big possibility that maybe she is cooperating with Conny and the Armored Titan and Colossal Titan. Because, as they were saying, there are two spies within the Survey Corps. So could she be the second spy? I don't know. I mean, it's definitely weird, because I never thought that the second spy would also be one of these, how should I say, Eren's classmates, the same recruitment class, because they're all so young, and it would seem just such a coincidence that there's another Titan shifter is also Eren's, the same age as Eren, you know, and Annie's. That's why I never thought about the possibility that maybe another one of these who are the same age as Eren could be a Titan, maybe the Armored Colossal or any Titan shifter, I guess. I never thought about this possibility, but it seems like Ymir is one of a Titan shifter. Could she maybe be the Armored or Colossal Titan? This could also be a possibility. But yeah, there's a big chance that she is the second spy. But other than that, I can't make any more theories about it. So because I don't have, as I said, she was featured so little that there's nothing I could back up with, or which would guide me in any other direction of thinking. Okay, so this episode started with us showing how Eren, Mikasa, and Armin and all the rest of the soldiers were preparing to leave. And at that point, Armin made a point to Eren that it seems like these wall titans are inside every wall. He also pointed out that the Armored Titan only destroyed the gate of Wall Maria. And I always thought that he destroyed also a piece of the wall, like that was how I remembered it. So I don't think I forgot this, I just never understood in the first place that he only destroyed the gate when watching episode 2. And then Armin also made a point that it's strange in a way that it seems like in reality the Titans are protecting them from Titans. So he in fact hinted that maybe these Titans are not against them, that maybe these Titans are on their side. So he in a way fueled my theory about them being anti-Titans, so that basically they will in fact, they could in fact help humans. Now, speaking of these Titans, I need to ask myself, where do they tie into my theory about the whole Titan's existence? I don't specifically know, because we know so little about these wall Titans now. It seems like if there are multiple inside each wall, but there's no proof. Maybe there's just one Titan per wall. That could be the case. I believe that there are multiple, but who knows? The other thing we don't know is, are they all the same height, and do they all look the same? It would make sense because the wall is symmetric. The wall Sheena is the same height through and through. So that means that if there are multiple Titans inside wall Sheena, it would make sense that they're all the same height. And that would be strange, that they're all the same Titans, I guess, with the same powers. It's just weird, because until now we have seen that, even the standard looking Titans, none of them are the same. And the Titan shifters, none of them are the same. The Colossal Titan, armored, female, Aaron's Titan, and probably also the Beast Titan, if he is in fact a human. They all look completely different. So that's one question that I need an answer to. The last thing which I also want to know is, are these Titans or are they Titan shifters? Considering that they used same type of a power which Annie did, they are probably humans. Maybe it's the similar thing as to what happened with Annie. As she's now in a crystal, she probably can't die while she's in the crystal. She probably also doesn't age. So maybe that's the same thing, what's happening with these wall Titans, if they're in fact humans, that when they went into the wall, they went into a hibernation mode, and that's why they are still alive, I guess. But one thing that's interesting here is that the Titan wasn't able to move. He needed to gain sunlight. The sunlight needed to shine on him, just like the priest pointed out. So these wall Titans are also fueled by the sun, just the same as every standard Titan is. So this indicates that in fact they are not human Titan user. Although maybe also the Eren and the rest of the Titan shifters also need sunlight. It never was stated. I don't know if also Eren and Annie and every other human Titan user need the sunlight to operate. I don't know. In any case, what I'm trying to say is that it's hard to tell what they in reality are, and that's why it's hard to define exactly how do they tie into my theory about the Titan's existence. Maybe they also were on that Titan island, continent, when they were Titan shifters, but they decided to not kill humanity. They went against all the other Titans, I guess, and decided that they will help humanity. This could be a possibility, but there's just a lack of information about them for me to make any concrete theories. Then before they went outside of the wall, Hanji, I think, was analyzing a piece of the wall before Levi came to her and said that they should go. And then when they went, she also brought with her the priest, Nick. Both Levi and Eren tried to force him to speak, because he still doesn't want to speak. But Hanji explained that he probably won't tell them anything, and that she took him with her so that he will be able to see the Titans in first hand, and that maybe this will scare him enough to reconsider the fact that he doesn't want to speak, and that maybe then he will tell them some useful information. Then we were focused on Sasha's storyline. She decided to go back to her own village to try to help them, her own people, I guess. She remembered her father and their interaction when she stole some food which he intended to store for I guess, tougher times, but she was just too hungry and just decided to eat it. And she was blaming the outsiders for what was happening. So the outsiders which she was referring to were those which basically had to migrate from the area of Val Maria now to the area of Val Rosa. I have to say that her father as you were probably able to tell from my reaction. Like, I agreed with everything he was saying. Like, he's not just smart, he's really wise. And he made some great points by saying that we are essentially all the same pack, that we're all a part of the same world. And then he said also to her that that she can do whatever she wants. She can turn her back on humanity, but then she loses her right to expect help from humans. And these points which he made are, I guess, I would say, like, evergreen. Like, you know, just look at our today's society, you know. I don't want to talk about politics or anything in my videos, because this is not a place for that. But definitely I think some people sometimes forget that we all live in a society. People easily get selfish, and they easily forget that basically, although you have some obligation in a society, like paying taxes, etc., but at the same time, you do have a lot of benefits which you wouldn't have if there were no society. And that's basically the point which he was making to Sasha. And I fully agree with him. Sasha arrived at that place where she lived, and they actually have built a new village. So that place, I guess, advanced in some ways. The village was empty except for one house where that girl and her mother were located, and that small titan was eating her mother. I definitely have to say that I haven't... Is this the smallest titan which we have ever seen? And his proportions weren't bizarre, so like he looked just like a slightly bigger version of a human. And that's weird. We haven't seen anything like this before. I don't know what this indicates. It's definitely weird because there were some weird new titans which appeared now with the appearance of the Beast Titan. So could this be the Beast Titan's fault? I don't know. But in any case, he was probably one of the creepiest, or I wouldn't say creepiest, but the whole scene and the feel of everything that was happening around him felt like a horror movie in a way, because he didn't care when Sasha was attacking him. His looks were creepy. He was slowly eating her legs, which I pointed out somewhere already in my discussion, that this is really strange because the girl said that her mother does in fact have some problems with her legs, and he specifically was eating her legs. So was he aware that she has leg problems? I don't know. But he did it in the eating sounds were disgusting. And he did it in such a slow way, even for his size. I know he's not so big, but still, he really took his time chewing each piece of the meat. Like, it was disgusting. It was creepy. And this is something, why wasn't she able to cut his neck? This was interesting. I think just like I said, was it because of the axe? But maybe the axe is not suitable because for killing titans. So she and the girl escaped out of that house. And then Sasha had like her memory of the interaction between Christa, Ymir, and her. I talked about, of course, the whole thing with the name of Ymir. But in this scene, it was a great scene because Ymir, although she acts really mean a lot of the times, like at least in the scenes where she was acting more of like a negative person. But here at first it seemed like she was making fun of Sasha, but she wasn't. She encouraged Sasha to talk in her own way. That she, that if she has that, I guess, wild accent, that then she should keep it. That she doesn't need to try to speak in any other way. But then Christa pointed out that Sasha can speak in any way she wants. She can freely, if she wants to speak in her accent, if she wants to speak in a new way, in any way she can do it. And it was just a great memory for Sasha. And I think that really meant a lot for her, because she probably never felt as a part of a society. And now for Christa and Ymir to basically show her that no matter who she is, no matter how she speaks, she's still a part of the society. She is accepted. I think that really meant a lot of Sasha. And this memory, in combination of the memory about her father, I think that's why Sasha now sees herself as a part of the humanity and wants to fight for the humanity. Because she, as just her father said, is also a part of this world. And just as the girl is also a part of this world, that's why Sasha is helping her. She helped the girl, and it was such a nice resolve when Sasha said to the girl that she should run, and then shouted, in fact, in her own accent, that she needs to run away. You know, this was like, I would say, I don't know, the peak of her arc in this episode. You just realize at that point that she, as a person, went through a lot of development to get to the point where she is now. You know, from being someone who didn't want to accept outsiders to now basically helping a total stranger for her. She didn't know who that girl was. Basically almost sacrificing her own life for that girl, because that Titan could have killed her. And even though she changed as a human, she grew as a person, I would say. She still, inside her, is Sasha. She still is, you know, has her own characteristic, her own past, and her being there, fighting against the Titan and shouting to that girl in her own accent was just, I guess, a testament to Sasha's character. She then was able to escape from the Titan. She, with her own hand, stabbed his eye, and then because of the blood, she was able to slip through, which is interesting, to say the least. She then escaped. Actually, her father found her. That girl actually told her father, Sasha's father, and everyone else that there's someone still behind. So you see, that's the thing. What was her father telling? Sasha helped someone, then that person, which is the girl, helped Sasha. And it's also interesting that her father was still there. I guess her father was also helping whoever he was able to help. It just again shows how great of a person he is. And then when he said that Sasha has really grown, and when Sasha said, "I'm home," it was just a nice ending to her arc in this episode. Then we were for a few moments with Conny, and he had like a completely different experience. Just as with Sasha, the village was empty, but here his house was basically demolished by a Titan who was lying on there. There's a high possibility that maybe his whole family died, which would be horrible. Of course, here what is the most, I guess, interesting part is this Titan lying in the house, just as those soldiers. I am also shocked, how did that Titan get there? You know, he wasn't able to move with those legs and arms. Why is he just lying there? And as I said, also with that Titan inside Sasha's village, which also felt a bit new to me, this Titan in Conny's village is also something new. We haven't seen that before, and I think that this has something to do with the Beast Titan. I don't know why. Did he bring them with him? Can he create, you know, I don't know. Can he maybe create them? You know, there are countless possibilities. But I have a feeling that the Beast Titan did something and brought these Titans inside. Because I have a feeling, I don't know why, maybe because they didn't show us, I have a feeling that maybe Walrasa hasn't fallen. Then begs the question, how did the Beast Titan and every other Titan come inside that area? I don't know, but there is a chance that happened. Maybe he used some specific powers, who knows. Maybe he did something to just teleport these Titans and himself inside this area. That could maybe explain why we have so many different looking Titans, I guess. I really hope that Conny's family is alright, especially his brother and sister. I guess we'll have to see if they survived in, I guess, future episodes, maybe the next one. But definitely I feel bad for Conny. He's just a great guy. Like, I think he doesn't have any bad intentions, that's what I'm trying to say. I think he will never do something bad to you, to any person. And it just feels bad, you know, to see what happened to him, to his house specifically, which is also interesting. Why specifically his house? I guess it's a coincidence. To now talk about the information cards, or the information card. It seems like in this season we only have one per episode. So this information card gave us an information about these villages, that there are many villages inside the area within the walls, and that their main purpose is to farm, supply food to the districts, cities, I guess, and that the most of the population live inside these villages. So yeah, those are these villages we have seen many times before. I guess it's interesting to see that most of the people live in these areas, which I guess makes sense, because I guess you need to have more money to be able to live inside a district. So a great new detail. I definitely don't think I have to comment on this too much. I don't think there is a lot to comment about this. I think I was aware of everything that this information card said, but it's a great thing that this information card, I guess, confirms how these things work. Yeah, so my predictions for the upcoming episode. I think we will focus mostly on Eren's story in the next episode. I have a feeling we might also see Conny's story of how he tries to find his parents. I hope we'll learn, I suppose we will learn what exactly happened at Walrosse. Maybe we will see how Pixies and Hannes go to try out and find out what happened. Maybe even Erwin and these soldiers decided to go there. I'm not entirely sure why they even left. Why Erwin, Eren and all others left. I think they might went to help everyone in that area between Walrosse and Sheena, just like Sasha, Conny and everyone else are doing. Or maybe they are going straight to Walrosse to see if maybe Eren can close the wall in some ways. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. And now to grade this episode. I really enjoyed it. I think I loved the pacing just I did in the previous episode. Like, I love the fact that they showed us so much. They showed us Eren's part, I guess, Sasha's part and Conny's part. It was a great thing. I think the previous one was better. I still think the weight and tempo of the previous episode was more like more epic, I think, adrenaline-like. But this was still a fantastic episode. I would give it, 8.9. I think it deserves this. So yeah, this is it for this episode. Hope I haven't missed anything of what I wanted to talk about. Of course, if I missed something, if I was wrong on something, feel free to correct me in the comment section. I definitely apologize for uploading this video a bit late and for the fact that I actually filmed this video on 3 different days. Like, I think you were able to see that my appearance, the lighting in this room changed 3 times during my reaction part, my post-reaction thoughts, and from the episode breakdown on, everything was filmed on a different day. And I'm not a fan of that, but this week I really had just, I guess, small windows of time where I was able to film. Especially because I had to rewatch the episode before making a discussion. It kind of ruined my rhythm. I don't know. I know that this video will probably be out really late compared to my recent uploading frequency. So this is something that happened just for this episode. I'll still try my best as I was doing now, with trying to upload twice per week. I think I uploaded like every 4 days, which is around twice per week. So again, sorry for the late upload. And I know that a lot of you always say that I'm being too hard on myself, but it's just, I'm trying to always improve, to always make things better. I'm quite satisfied with where I am at this point, I have to say that. I think I somewhat now know how long my videos I want to be, the structure of my videos. But there are some things which I would really like to improve, like the lighting, or I would try to achieve an uploading schedule. And my English, I think this is something that I'm always looking forward to try to... Because I know that I'm capable of talking better or trying to not make many language mistakes, I guess, while talking. Because I know that a lot of you are y'all are from different countries, non-English speaking countries, so I really know that I have to do my best to talk as precisely and clear as possible. So this is something that I'm really looking forward to improve constantly. And I think improvement in general is really good for anything that you do in life. Like just a few days ago, I've rediscovered a channel, and that person is doing YouTube for like, I think, 1 year and 7 months, something like this, and he has around 90 subscribers. And when he had his 1 year anniversary, he did a video reflecting about his time on YouTube. And he said that he thinks that his content is good enough, that the only thing he needs to master is the marketing aspect of YouTube, that he needs to master Instagram and other social media sites. And and this is, for me, this is the biggest trap you can fall into, saying that you think that you don't have to improve anymore, that your content is great, and that just the marketing is the problem. So that means that, in a way, you're blaming YouTube. Of course, luck definitely plays a role. I definitely feel that I'm extremely lucky to be at this point. To gain 400 subscribers in 3 months is an astonishing accomplishment for me. But I know that I personally always have this mentality to make things better, I always ask myself, before uploading, I always ask myself, is this video good enough? Are you enjoying it? Because if I'm not enjoying it, then no one will, That's the thing. And in the bottom line, what I'm trying to say is that whatever you're doing, of course, you don't have to be too hard on yourself, but you need to be the best judge, I guess. You need to be the person who can say, okay, this is good, this is not good, and you need to be open to criticism, and you definitely need to be open to any type of feedback. I think that's the right mentality you need to have, being your own harshest critic, and at the same time listening to other people, what do they think, what you can improve, and then I guess you can move into the right direction. But yeah, I somewhat lost, I somewhat started to ramble, I guess. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you soon.